Truck driver shot dead in Yorktown, St. Catherine. A 26-year-old truck driver was shot and killed in his community of Yorktown district in Linstead, St. Catherine on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as Tyrone Harvey, also known as Neil. According to police reports around 4:40 p.m., Harvey went to a section of the community to collect firewood when he was ambushed by two men, one of whom was armed. The gunman opened fire, hitting him multiple times. Harvey was taken to the Linstead Hospital where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the killing. The Linstead Criminal Investigations Branch is investigating. Clarendon man stabbed to death in fight with brother. A 28-year-old man was allegedly stabbed to death by his younger brother during a fight in Maple, Clarendon on Friday. The deceased has been identified as Kemroy Brown, otherwise called Blacks, a laborer of Hazard Drive in the parish. According to police reports, around 1:20 p.m., Brown was at home when an altercation broke out between him and his 25-year-old brother. During the fight, a knife was used and Brown was stabbed. He was rushed to the Mapen Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Mapen Criminal Investigation Branch is probing the incident. St. Catherine prisoner charged with fellow inmates' murder. An inmate at a correctional center in St. Catherine has been charged with the murder of another inmate at the same facility on Friday, January 17. Apollos Atkinson, 41, has been charged with the murder of 32-year-old Jermaine Rogers. Reports from the Spanish Town Police are that about 2:55 p.m., the correctional officers at the facility heard a commotion and later discovered Rogers with a stab wound. The correctional officers then assisted Rogers to hospital, however, he was pronounced dead. Detectives charged Atkinson after conducting a question and answer session with him in the presence of his attorney. A court date for him is being finalized. From Boba to Thickman, the ill-fated leadership of the One Order Gang. The leadership of the Spanish Town-based One Order Gang is a constant revolving door of characters because of the gang's violence activities, which included extortion, killing, and drug dealing. On Wednesday night, authentic Man Laban became the latest of its reputed dons to have their reign cut short at the hands of the police, gunmen, or through the courts over the last 2 decades. Laban, who was fatally shot in an alleged confrontation with members of the police joint anti-gang task force at 6 Miles in St. Andrew, was said to be the key figure in Jamaica's criminal underworld with influence in several sections of the island. His killing sparked unrest across the old capital. The One Other Gang gained authority for its fierce rivalry with the Klansman gang over the lucrative extortion racket in Spanish Town, engaging in a bloody internecine battle which has claimed the lives of hundreds of people. Reporters has compiled a list of some of its ill-fated leaders over the last 20 years and how they met their demise. Bubba shot in the head on Whitehall Avenue. Notorious gang leader Oliver Simit was shot and killed by a gunman in July 2004 after Festival Road off Whitehall Avenue in St. Andrew. Simit was shot in the head with a high-powered rifle. The police seized the Honda Civic motor car that Simit was driving at the time of his death and eventually seized more than 800 rounds of ammunition at an upscale St. Andrew home he had been renting. Simit was deported from the United States in 2002, was wanted by the police for various crimes including murder. Bunman murdered by a khaki-wearing gunman. Andrew Bunman, Hope, was one of Simit's most trusted lieutenants. He reportedly inherited the mantle of leadership from Bubba Simit before he was killed on February 7, 2006 by rival criminals in Spanish Town. Hope was shot dead on Ellis Street in the vicinity of Spanish Town High School by unknown assailants dressed in khaki. He was found slumped over the steering wheel of his silver Honda Civic motor car. Bunman had appeared to be marked for death as months earlier. He narrowly escaped when gunmen fired on a vehicle in which he and a well-known politician were traveling in after they attended a peace meeting. Tikaros, one of his associates, was killed in the attack. When Hope was killed, a wild rumor spread that a member of the police force was responsible for his death, and gang members invaded the town and fired shots. They proceeded to block roads in several sections of the town in protest and forced several businesses to pull their shutters early. Thugs set fire of Spanish Town Courthouse, and the fire brigade was prevented from putting out the blaze. Plucker Bunman's brother incarcerated after short reign. After Bunman's death, his younger brother Ruan, Plucker Hope, became the reputed leader of the One Order gang. However, his reign was cut short by a collaborative effort from the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime CTOP branch and United States counterparts, which resulted in 3 top-tier members of the gang being convicted, including Plucker. On January 19, 2015, Hope was indicted for 1 count of false claim of U.S. citizenship and 1 count of aggravated identity theft. During a search of his residence in Pennsylvania, police discovered 352 grams of marijuana, several weapons, cell phones, and a Jamaica's driver's license with a fraudulent name of Hope's photograph. Plucker was eventually sentenced to 5 years in a U.S. prison. The other men convicted were Deputy One Order boss Everton Minto, otherwise called Rado, and Richard Shirley, otherwise called Ryder. The police say the two have been sentenced to 12 years and 20 years respectively for a range of offenses. In 2017, Ron Hope appealed his conviction for aggravated identity theft and his 60-month imprisonment sentence following his guilty plea to false claiming U.S. citizenship. The conviction was affirmed in part and vacated and remanded in part. The court found that the record supported a reasonable fact-finder's conclusion that Hope was guilty of aggravated identity theft beyond a reasonable doubt and affirmed the conviction. According to sources, the top cheerleader continues to oversee gang activities from overseas, but appointed a local don to run the Jamaican operations. The one other gang leadership dominoes continue to fall under the death of Fitzroy Mathis, also called Scufflers, for an illness reportedly cancer on January 24, 2024. Cops arrested him in 2010 and he was charged with 2 counts of shooting with intent but was later released. In 2015, we had later charge of the gunslaying of the man in 2013, was granted bail in the sum of $750,000 in the Home Circuit Court. He was 36 years of age and was charged with murder of Hunter Patterson, otherwise called Season, of Elderslie Pen, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The One Other gang is headquartered in the town's Pen community, with strongholds in Elderslie Pen, Dempsfair Pen, Garden Pen, Shelter Rock, Homestead, and Chambers Lane. The gang was created splintered fraction in the other areas of the country, including rural regions. It has long been considered as an ally for the Jamaica Labour Party, and it is believed to be one of the most powerful gangs in the island. The One Other gang is a fierce rival of the Clansman Don gang, which is considered an ally of the People's National Party. The hostilities between the two gangs have resulted in hundreds of murders as they wage a bitter war over control of extortion activities. In 2003 alone, 130 murders were committed in the historic town as both gangs battle for extortion rights. Jamaica economy on brink of a technical recession, says Bontin. The Jamaican economy is heading for a technical recession, according to opposition spokesperson on citizen security and productivity, Senator Peter Bontin. Bontin made the prediction last Friday as he made his contribution to the 2024-2025 State of National Debate in the Senate. He pointed to the fact that the economy declined 3.5% in September quarter of 2024, with the Planning Institute of Jamaica PIOG predicting a further contraction in the December quarter. Pointing out that the economy is projected to shrink for the overall 2024 calendar year, Bontin said, when these projections are confirmed in a couple weeks, the economy will be in a technical recession, that is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. The opposition spokesperson reminded that early in 2024, the World Bank projected that Jamaica's economy would grow at 1/2 of the rate of the rest of the Caribbean, excluding Ghana, over the next 2 years. He said the forecast was before Hurricane Barry that hit the island on July 3rd last year, costing billions in damage to growth and infrastructure. According to Bontin, since the initial COVID recovery, the economy slowed for the following 8 or 9 quarters, stalled in the quarters ending June 2024, and declined by 3.1% in September quarter. He highlighted that for the September 2024 quarter, agriculture, forestry, and fishery went down by 12.5%, mining and quarrying down by 17.4%, and manufacturing down 4%. He cited that the construction sector has recorded 4 consecutive quarters of decline, including a 3.3% decline in September quarter. Sales of construction inputs have declined, and national housing thrust starts have also declined, Bontin said, while also noting that the hotel and restaurant sector declined 6.2% as a result of fallouts in stopover arrivals. At the same time, net room yield are down. to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.